Here we go. I once again had to replay what I did so far in the last like 20 minutes or so, because the game doesn't let you save when you want to. It's fine. We aren't people with lives that have shit to do at some point. Alright. Oh, it's dark in here. There's Evian. And there's one of the versions of the Pathologic map, for sure. Mechanical clock to restart time. Eva demands nothing. In her presence, I can breathe. At Northern Station, a freight car was attached to my train. My train car was heated by a stove, just like this one. Looks like that's where the firewood came from. What's up here? My luggage? Suitcases and Thanatica. That's all I am. Miserable. The long-distance trains are filthy and crime-ridden. Don't open the door for Talman until I'm back. Those are useful to take. Especially when they stack like that. Oh, I should have noticed that a little sooner. There's big red numbers here and little blue numbers here, which helps you separate the ones that change your mood by a certain amount. So you don't have to highlight them to find out how much it does. It does make it go faster. It makes sense they would surface that kind of information in a thing where that's like the primary thing you're opening your inventory for in many cases.
Why so jittery, Dankovsky?
I hate mirrors. A time skipper. So beds do that. Right now time doesn't exist. Either because we're in a death place or because we're in a tutorial place. I don't know if we're going to be revisiting this place periodically in a similar frozen time state or not. I wish you could press piano keys faster.
Forgot that there's so much of the world.
A little faster, buddy. Come on. Is there like a Fortnite style mini game of like where to aim to get better results?
Like a gunshot.
Seems a little varied in whether or not it gets me some positive progress or not. They knew players were going to do this. If you put something like this here, then people are going to try to keep their apathy maintained by just mashing keys for a while. Eva Yan, canary in a cage. The Stillwater is a failed observatory converted into a guest house. One day, Eva Yan just moved in. She was never chased out because, according to the locals, the Stillwater changes people in strange ways, and someone must bear its attentions. When I arrived, they'd already arranged a room for me at the Stillwater. I saw Eva every day. She almost never went outside. Huh. I don't remember this detail, honestly. I remember that we stay with Eva in the previous two games, The Bachelor does, I mean. And that she just kind of seems a little airy and strange. But I don't remember there being a specific detail that the building is somehow strange, and that it changes the people in it, and so on, and that she's like... That's not only why she's like that, but almost gives her like a sort of a duty, specifically. It kind of feels like it's an attempt to, over time, layer on more meaning on this strange character that usually doesn't do that much, but sort of has a quiet depth in her characterization.
Do geese see God?
Do geese see God? Uh-huh. Alright. You're back. That's good. You'll sleep much more soundly in the Stillwater than a prison cell. Simon had good reason to arrange for you to stay here. Good reason, you say. Tell me, this long case clock, how long has it been here? It's always been here. Simon used to joke that they built the Stillwater around it. When Farkhad started constructing the Stillwater, the clock was the first thing to be installed. But why do you ask? Is the ticking too loud? Disturbing your sleep? No. Just curious where it came from. So, you say it was Simon who brought it here. I don't think he actually brought it here himself. It's quite heavy. But it was brought here at his request, yes. In fact, you're the first one to ask me about it. Most people just don't notice it. Every time I see you touch it, it feels like I can see something, like you can see something that I can't. As if you're being transported by it. What? Have you seen me touching this clock already? You've been living here for 5 days. Of course I have. Every single day. You stand in front of it and murmur something just before you go to bed. If I didn't know what a skeptic you are, I would have thought that you were performing a ritual. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of place the Stillwater is. Those who live in the Stillwater can get things muddled in their heads, but you shouldn't blame everything on the house. It's unusual, certainly, and built with specific intent. But in the end, it's only a building. I've heard a different story. I've heard something isn't right with this house, that people can't stay in here for too long. In our little town, there are tall tales about everything under the sun. Even toy bulls. Separating truth from fiction is hard, even for the locals. I'm dead tired. I need to sleep. Sleep is death's little brother. Who told you that? You. Yeah, that sounds like me. Don't go to bed while you're still thinking so much about the clock. You won't be able to fall asleep. May I take a closer look at the clock? I'll be careful, I promise. Ah, my mania! Calm down. My heart. I'm literally taking health damage from this. What the fuck? What is up with this game? Hello. Amalgam is required to recall the past. Amalgam is needed both for the bachelor's past and the player's past. Loading a save requires a payment. It can be obtained by smashing mirrors. And a couple more ways. It costs you amalgam to load a save. Whoa. So they've gone in the hard other direction. In Pathologic 2, in Pathologic 1 and 2, you could quick save and quick load whenever you wanted to. You could spam that shit. But in Pathologic 2, their twist that they added was that if you died and then loaded your save, the consequences of your death would still be there. So they did a little workaround where like you actually didn't have pure control over your saves, but instead we're doing it in this layer within a layer where they actually were having control over what was going on. Here you can't manually save and load at all. You're completely removed from the ability to control that stuff. And the currency I use for time traveling is the same currency I use for loading my saves. Does that include going back in time as in like to undo specific events and choices in my playthrough? Or does it include dying? Okay, so I only have access to the first 5 days. That simplifies things a bit. It shows what I'll lose. Oh, you lose more than one sliver worth. These aren't really pips. Usually segments like this mean that you spend that amount, but there's a little bit there's a little bit in here, a whole thing here, and some there. And time traveling to day 1 will cost me that much. Is it always the same amount? It costs less to go back to day 4. It's hard to see past the waypoint. Okay. The further back you go, the more it costs. Should I go back to day 1? Or should I go back to a specific thing? I don't get to review my notes from here, I don't think. Although I think I can just hit escape and view it from here again. Bad Grief's death. Ruben's death. Technically don't have a day for that, do we? I guess that way of listing things isn't a death. I'm still not super clear on what happens in this game, in that, do I need to use time travel juice to go forward in time to the next day when I finish a day? Or can I play the games in chronological, can I play the days in chronological order for a bit? Because it does feel fairly intuitive just to go back to day 1 and see what I can do. And then can I go to day 2 from day 1? Oh, it's going. Well, I guess I've made my choice. Is this the most boring thing to do or not? I don't know. Hi. I'm here again.
You could have gone and bowed properly, asked for kindness. Who would have refused you? But no, you had to strut about like a peacock.
At it again, Doctor. I asked you not to bury me in trifles. Are you here to complain that children stole your microscope? Your arrival in this town doesn't interest me. I care only about what matters. By what matters, I take it you mean whatever would put me on trial. Or do you take me for your memoirist? A close friend? Entrusted with your life from its very beginning? But on day 1, something else happened. Something that matters. That concerns Simon. Simon Kane is a curious figure indeed. But for our purposes, he is entirely secondary. By the time you arrived, he was already dead, as I understand it. That's the point. The Kanes are masters of mystification. They wanted everyone to believe Simon had died. Fairy tales about immortality again. Do you always call things fairy tales when they're inconvenient or don't fit the way you build your accusations? You still can't grasp my central point, esteemed bachelor. You chased after some old man and turned your back on the fate of tens of thousands of people. That is where your guilt lies. Now you are repeating the same mistake. We're investigating the plague. The plague! The town. Only they matter. Not Simon. Who gave you the right to decide what matters and what doesn't? A special commission did. Is Simon connected to the plague? He's not. Is his death connected? It's not. Until you can establish that connection for me, I don't wish to hear about your white whale hunt. What I do wish to hear about is criminal negligence. I have not been negligent. Oh, my stuff is refilled. Oh, but going to day 2 is expensive. Okay, so I'm banned from going to day 1. In which the bachelor disturbs the earth twice. In which the bell tolls. in which ends more above than the rest? Is that because he gets arrested? Should I do them in chronological order, I wonder? Let's see. So he gates my ability to go somewhere. They've interestingly blocked me from going to the first day. Where it all starts is like a place we're specifically not going to spend time on.
Where do you think we are right now?
It seems to be making some level of sense in that it is a time travel story, so if there's a moment where you can cause the most change, it'd be the first day. So you'd probably want to go there later on, armed with a lot of information. You've been going on about the second day. What are you implying exactly? According to our information, there was no plague in the town yet. There was nothing to research, besides the Stillwater and its charming mistress. The authorities were aware of the plague on the second day. I tried to warn the governor. And nobody listened to you? With your reputation? That is a very childish lie. For shame. Next thing you'll tell me is the cup was broken by an invisible dwarf, not you. They did listen. Or they tried to. If not, I wouldn't have had anything to work with by the third day. You cannot possibly know whether the town was clean on the second day or not. You hadn't opened the hospital yet. You understood nothing about the sand plague. And pardon my frankness, but I'm not interested in your hypotheses and speculations. I need hard facts. I did open the hospital on the third day. Why don't you tell me about that then? And then we'll see if there's any merit to your musings about the genesis of the plague. If you just let me tell the story how I see fit, we'd settle this matter sooner. Okay, so we have limitations. This guy's role makes more sense now. He limits what days I can even access, and I need to come up with arguments and context for why I would go there. These seem to be grouped. 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 1, 2 are grouped into separate circles. I don't know if that means much. Alright, in which the bell tolls. This is the funeral day, I think?
Not again. Once more.
You are, I beg your pardon, trying to deceive me. Time and again. Sure enough. It isn't in my power to forbid you lying. Era humanum est. But one can also, shall we say, be mistaken with no intent. No ill intent. But as far as formal logic is concerned, you are constantly feeding me something that can only be described as falsehood. I never lie. What do we have next? Day 3, the crucial one. The day the town elites were to appoint the Health Inspector General, the person to lead the fight against the epidemic. You were absent. My office in this town was that of a chance visitor. Can you comprehend that? Or are you willing to admit that my invitation was orchestrated? Do you admit that this whole thing with Simon Kane was nothing but an excuse? They wanted to shut down your lab, and you just shirked your responsibilities, scuttling away to the back of Beyond and abandoning your brainchild for your junior colleagues to deal with. The captain was the first to desert the sinking ship. I suspect that Simon Kane never existed. You're right about that. But I didn't know that at the time. What does it matter if he existed or not? He was one man, and you had thousands dying around you. A single person can become the foundation of a breakthrough that saves millions. Like Henrietta Lacks. Do you think upholding your Hippocratic oath is optional? No, that's why I opened a hospital and started saving people, even though they repaid me in hatred. According to my information, there was no hospital building in the town. Here, take a look. Who are your mysterious informants? People. They see everything, Dankovsky. They also lie all the time. That was another discovery I made. At the hospital, by the way. It's a hospital that exists, you son of a bitch. Day starts at midnight, damn, okay. Beginning of the day. Terrible vengeance. I wasn't the only one who found Ruben's hideout. On this day, the attackers tracked him down and killed him. I want to do something about that. On the third day, Ruben was hiding in the warehouse as he was planning something. He's afraid of something. Left click to alter the course of events? How do I do that, I wonder? Am I choosing between different options? I'll have to go back to learn what the dogheads told me before. Yeah, this was the day where the dogheads supposedly talked to me, and Ruben gets murdered. I wonder if that information is relevant. Is the doghead information relevant to keeping him alive? Day 2, the second outbreak. Today the town learned of the plague. Recalling the day 2 would be valuable for understanding the genesis of the epidemic. First, I must recall whether I opened the hospital. Otherwise, I'm of little use. Day 1, the past doesn't matter. Luggage problems, a tour of the town, meeting notable residents. The first day has no bearing on the story of the plague. Not interested. I already told the inspector everything he was interested in, and even a bit more. He's hard locking us out of day 1 and 2 for now. Wild. So let's click on this. Alter the events. Huh. I think this might be that we select which quests we want to change the outcome of. Basically, we activate specific events that we know about, and then we can go in and intentionally change the outcome of those events. But otherwise, if I don't click on it, maybe it just assumes I want it to stay however the current canon is, and I don't have to recreate those steps every single time. Instead, some off-screen bachelor will just have continued to do it however it happened last time. It's wild seeing how this all goes. I definitely kind of thought that we'd be like having to actively retrace our steps, and like whenever you did a particular day, you had to recreate the ideal run. Not only is that part of time travel, time loop games like Outer Wilds in many cases, but it's also like how it was like to play Pathologic 1 and 2. If you really fucked up your day, which you probably would have did at some point, you would reload your save and replay that entire day to optimize it. But that meant having to redo the whole day again in an optimized way. Alright, so talk to dogheads and try to make Ruben not die. If you start the day, the progress in the selected events will reset. You'll be able to start them anew. That sounds like what I want to do, right? I think. No mistakes. If I die with no amalgam, death will be final. It's crucial to always have some. Jesus. Are they telling me that like that's it for my playthrough? If I... Day 3 in which the bell tolls. Tangled thoughts. I always remember important items, artifacts. Small things are forgettable. Consumables are not transferred between days. They're waiting for me in the clock on the day I collected them. Oh. I can't take them out of a different day? That makes the economy really weird, but they stay there in that day? Fugitive. So the main story thing is that I'm here to figure out what's going on here. I'm supposed to meet the leaders in the town hall at some point. None of these things seem to be giving me a time of day to worry about. But I think these are functionally that's the main mission. I think that's functionally the main story mission of this day is the town hall meeting where I try to take the lead on the disease effort. Then I can also go to these other 2 locations to do optional side things that help, probably. But of course, I want to do everything that I'm aware of. This is your... So, okay, so you can just actively use these clocks to change what day it is. And it doesn't have to be that super specific. I don't want to spin that. That'll destroy me. No way. Oh. Oh wow, it's really hard to see that doorway. Does that mean that this is always... Ooh, hello.
Misophonia, Dankovsky.
Misophonia, Dankovsky? I'm sorry, do you have misophonia?
Do geese see God?
When I wake up, I try not to remember what day it is for as long as possible. Morning is a fluid time. Whatever happened outside hasn't reached you yet, which means it has no more power over you than a dream. When I wake up, I immediately run through all the things I need to do. In the mornings, certain things become clear that fade away by evening. This morning, I realized something about you, why you swing between gloom and fever. Is it that obvious? I don't know. People see what they want to see, and I want to see you. Aww. Tell me, have you always been like this, always swinging from one extreme to the other? No. Everyone has mood swings, but mine were never this violent. Simon once said that a person's greatest battle isn't with their circumstances, not with hunger, thirst, or exhaustion. The real fight is always with yourself. Until you've been to your own apex and your own abyss, you'll never know who you are. Hunger and thirst are serious opponents too. How many thousands of people lose to them every day? A lot. But you'll never be among them. Food, drink, and shelter will always be there for you. You don't need to think about such trifles. I don't think about them. Usually, I don't even notice the taste of food. But no one can get inside and change you. Well, they can, and eventually it will happen. But only you can keep track of your own peace of mind and the seesaw in your head. How do you know what I call it? Well, it's a pretty obvious image. I suppose so. Ooh, amalgam from talking to her. That seems like a lot of amalgam to get that way. Still can't open these doors. Oh, that's the front door. It's a lot of loading right there. Okay. Hi. Mirrors and coffins are all too alike. One ill-timed glance, and they'll trap you inside. I'm in no hurry to get inside my coffin. Ha! How droll, senor. How droll you are indeed. Just mind your eyes around the coffins here. I see no need for you to look inside. Should I avert my gaze from mirrors too? Will I see something I shouldn't? Imagine that you are a mirror. When a man stands before you, you hold in yourself, his double. And so, where once one stood, there are now one, and one again. Were I a mirror framed, I'd hold that man within my depths, never to release him, forever hidden behind silvered glass. I've heard of alternate histories, but alternate optics is new to me. Optics was but one of Simon's callings. It strains belief, but still you must believe. The flow of time inside our town is not at all like what you know. It is fluid, it seeps, it leaks, and in it you must swim. So you have alternate physics here too. And if time flows, then you may bottle it, like blood or dew or tears. You keep it for a rainless day and spend it when you must. Stock up on time on idle evenings, then spend it all when a report comes in and work piles up. I wouldn't say no to that. It was possible, of course. If you had such a cachet of liquid time, you could then move across the days to find yourself at the right time, in the right place. Much like you did just now, senor. And then I could correct my mistakes, of course. Indeed. If you could handle it, senor. What need have you to put your mind in chains? Do you believe that dead men can one day be brought life anew? Say I believe you. What then? Amalgam is what we call liquid time. So long as you have some, you need not take a linear view of things. You may rewind the film or turn the story on its side, and if perchance you meet your death, instead of life, amalgam will pour out of you, and you'll be granted a new chance to try. Wait. I can't die? Signor, you jest. What could I even say to this? We did already discuss coffins. You must remember this. To die with no amalgam is a final and true death. The same death that you struggle to defeat. So you must always keep amalgam close at hand, or else you'll meet that darkest end. Where do I find this amalgam then? Mirrors are a source of it. They gleam a man's reflection, trapping time within themselves. And if a mirror should break, its liberated time you could then take. Once, at a gymnasium, I broke a mirror for showing me a nasty reflection. Didn't add any seconds to my living time then. Amalgam also comes from labors done. Every finished task inspires, giving you more time. I know the feeling. I felt it in the capital, too. My task today is to explain the things that matter most. The rest you'll come to know and understand in time. I ask, Signor, do you believe the things I've said? Do you hear my words, Simon's words, with respect? Simon was doing experiments with times, with clocks, watches. That's the important part, which I understand. Can I break the mirror? Oh, hello.
Superstitions aren't real.
I gotta get stocked up. What are you guys doing? Feel like you're looking for something. What are you guys doing? What you looking at? Is my face that interesting? Yeah. Every time I see one of them, I wonder what they are. It's an odongh. Cattle folk. They're raw. Unfinished. I can't get rid of this one. Follows me like a dog, he does. Stopped to catch my breath by your house. Now it's eyeing you. I know this look. I mean you no harm, Moga-kun. I want only to look. Look at what? The Stillwater used to be an observatory, but there's no telescope, so no stars to look at. I want to take a look at you, Amite. Haven't seen a creature like you in a while. Your gait and your rags. Look at the rags. What do you mean rags? Do you have any idea how expensive this coat is? I mean it with respect. I love rags, and I love creatures, love studying them. We odongh are simple herders, but Bodo granted me a mind. Honir holtoi aoihan. I love studying creatures. May I study you, Amite? You want to follow the doctor from the capital? Follow him like a dog now? I do not follow like a dog. I'll stay put. He comes to this house often. Your house knows you, but for Moga-kun, the house is new. I will study him and how the house treats him. Haven't seen anything like this before. We get few visitors. Study me how, exactly? No taram jalgoi baldai. I'll stand in the corner and observe. What an odd creature you are. So much ta barnoinod. I can be useful too, mind. Very helpful. Eke tai hatal. Are you offering some kind of arrangement? I see stains on your rag. Tiny drops. Yun gisheb. Is it ox bile? You must need it if you have it on you. Say if you need more. I can get more. You could use it. Yes. I could use some more. I need it for the prototype. I need belladonna and novocaine too. Beauty drops and numb water. I know. I can get those for you, Moga-kun. I'll bring as much as you need if you let me study you, observe you. I'll trade bile and whatever else you say. Kane Kelsey. Trade? I thought you'd give me the ingredients in exchange for getting to observe me. This is not our way. Things of use are valuable. Even Mother Bodo grants herbs in exchange for the bride's dances, and bulls for the drover's labors. Letting me study you costs nothing. I won't ask much for the bile, but it should be a trade. I'm not sure I need it, but I'm happy to support a fellow researcher. It's a deal. Hey, what about me? I got used to having you around, and now you want to run away with the doctor of the capital. Here, I thought we were friends. We are friends, but I befriend creatures to study them, Amate. I studied you, and you are no strange creature to me no longer. Farewell. I'll meet you in the Stillwater, researcher. Just don't bother Eva, or I'll throw you out. Huh. Interesting. Magical assistant. I allowed the odongh to observe. He promised to be useful. I hope he will share his monograph on the behavior of thanatologists in crisis situations afterwards. Observer effect. What a show! A local oddity. A steppe odongh was amazed by my appearance and dreams of studying me. Huh. I wonder what the rest of their face looks like. Like, what's their mouth shaped like and stuff. So these guys are interesting because I believe that you have similar characters like this come by, but it's like Eva talks about people in their backyard that she's concerned about, but they seem to just be like camping there for a day and then they move on and you can just ignore them. There's no real reason to actually confront them or anything, but I think they can beat your ass if you end up fighting them. I think I missed them entirely in my original playthrough, just straight up never realized who she was talking about or where and didn't encounter them, but various video essays and whatnot have kind of immortalized their existence in my head. I think these are supposed to be basically the same characters, the people that... Maybe not actually, this is day 3, not day 1. Never mind. It's the beginning of the game, so I'm thinking of it in those terms, but it is day 3, so it might not be the same duo, but could be something along those lines. Be interesting to see if they're repurposed. Like if perhaps that very same character that normally shows up next to the house acts differently when they maybe get a hint of the Bachelor time traveling or something. I guess we'll see.